welcome to this video and welcome to 2023. It's so exciting that we have a whole year ahead of us filled with so many exciting possibilities. In this video, we are going to be talking all things dreaming, planning, goal setting for 2023. It's going to be a very chit-chatty video, so if you maybe want to grab a warm beverage and just cozy in and chat with me. First things first, I wanted to go over how I usually like to kind of start this process. First of all, before going into like a new season, a new year, anything like that, I always like to start with reflecting on the previous one. I think that's really important to kind of see what worked for you, what didn't work for you, and why, and kind of reevaluate your goals and where you want to be. I think that that's important to do that first. So I already did all of that work for 2022, and I'm not going to be going into too much detail about that, but I wanted to mainly talk about what we're doing going forward with 2023. So I've got this broken down into a few different categories. So we've got self-care and health goals, and then we've got relationship goals, career goals, personal growth, home, and spiritual goals. So those are kind of the categories that I like to look at and zero in on, and I think that this makes it a little bit easier to stay organized and stay on track with kind of where your mind is. So first of all, self-care and health. So my first one is fitness related. I realized when I was looking back on 2022, one of the things that did not work for me was not prioritizing movement or just exercise in general. I think that it is so important to get those endorphins in. I think it's really, well, I know it's really good for your mental health, and I want to definitely prioritize that. But that being said, I feel like there's always so much pressure to just jump right into saying, okay, I'm gonna work out every day, January 1st. And I don't really wanna look at it like that. I think that it's important to do what feels good for your body, especially since I haven't worked out in so long. I need to take it easy, and I need to do something that, you need to find something that's enjoyable for you. This doesn't mean that you need to start with rigorous cardio or a HIIT workout, just something that is easy and makes your body feel good. I think that's really important. So for me, I really enjoy Pilates, so I think I'm gonna start with that and just kind of start with stretching and strength and work my way into it. You have to build these habits little by little. It can't all happen at once. So sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but that is my first one, is to prioritize healthy movement. My next one would be to establish a healthy morning and night routine. I think I got my night routine down pretty well. I really enjoy it, and I think that it's structured, it serves me, it's good. But my morning routine is what I want to work on mostly, and that kind of ties in with my first one too, because during my morning is when I need to fit in my workout. So that is all going to be a process, because right now I'm still working on getting up every day at the same time-ish. So first things first is that, but that is one of my goals for 2023, is definitely to establish a healthy morning routine and to continue with my night routine. Next is taking vitamins and supplements. So that's something that I again overlooked completely in 2022. And I think that it's really important to at least be taking a multivitamin. So that is something that I definitely want to make my goal to take every day. Then for self-care, I have more of the fun side of self-care, which is making time for bubble baths and face masks. I think that that's really important to take the time to do that for yourself. And then lastly, I have prioritizing rest. I know that for me, I can tend to get overwhelmed, and then that can lead to burnout, and that is just not good. So I want to make sure that for both of us, we are taking time to prioritize just resting and getting enough sleep. So that is it for my self-care and health goals. Well, those are the main ones at least. And then next I have relationship goals. So this is my relationship with Colby, and then friends and family. I want to make sure that we continue prioritizing our date nights. I really enjoy our weekly date nights, even if they are simple, even if they don't have a lot of planning going into them, just taking a night where we do something fun and enjoyable together. I want to make sure we continue that. It has been great. Another thing I want to try and do is making sure we have really nice upbuilding conversation while we have dinner, because I think that it's so easy to just eat dinner in front of the TV, and we do that some nights, but I think that it's really important to sit down and have a meal and just talk together. Next would be just more calls and text to friends and family. I really want to focus on this. I think that just the quick little text saying something loving is so important, and I want to do more of that. Next is to continue being open and honest. I think that honest and open communication in a family is so important, so I want to continue to focus on that. And lastly is just to create more experiences and sweet moments together. So this just could be inviting more friends over or just planning to do more things together. I think that that is so important and something that I'm definitely looking forward to in 2023. Okay, next is career goals. Now, I don't have too much going on here because I am honestly so happy with my current job. I am so grateful for it. So for that, I really just have continued to put effort and value into my current job. But other than that, of course, I have this little baby YouTube channel right now that I am so enjoying creating videos with. And I started back in April, and I can't even believe, I think when I'm filming this, I have 139 subscribers, which if you have subscribed mean so much to me. Like I never thought that anyone would ever subscribe to my channel, if I'm being honest. So I'm just so grateful, and I really love making these videos. I love editing them, and I'm so excited to continue. So of course, like, you know, if I ever could make this into something that gives me revenue, that would be amazing. So I did write my goal to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That's a big goal, and I would honestly be blown away, but I think that it is important to dream big and to just put it out there. So I wrote it down, and then of course with that, I have that I want to learn more about social media and about creating. I think that I have a lot to learn still with all of this, so I do have that on here as well. So that is it for my career goals. Next up is personal growth, and this is probably one of like the biggest areas for me. I think that this is such an important one. And first things first, I have to always be learning and growing. I think that is so important. And one way that I want to try and do that this year is just by reading more books on so many different topics. I have a couple written down here. One of them that I would like to learn more about is how my cycle affects me, how it affects our hormones, our mood, our energy levels. I know that there is so much science behind that, and I would really love to learn more about that, learn more about my body, and I think that that's just something that's really important. Another thing would be to learn more about nutrition and supplements and all of that. I really want to kind of do a deep dive into how to better take care of my body. Next would be learning more about and taking care of my mental health and wellness. I've done a lot of work in this area over the past few years, but I want to continue to learn more and to be able to help others in that area as well. And that leads me to my next point as well, is to learn how to better help and support others. And this is in so many different areas, but I think that it's important to not just look at what we can do for ourselves, but of course what we can do for other people. So next I have, and I talked about this a little bit in one of my last videos, I really want to focus on kind of living more simple and being really focused on the things that we bring into the house, making sure they are either useful or they bring us joy, and not just consuming less in general, and also using all the food that we bring into our house. I hate being wasteful, and that is something that I would really like to just cut out going forward. I want to just focus on appreciating what we have and just limiting what comes in. Next is home goals, and my main goals for my home are always for it to feel peaceful, clean, full of love, laughter, and light, and a place where people feel welcome. So I did make a list of the areas in our home right now that don't feel like that I would like to focus on going forward, making sure that they do. Obviously, it's like kind of big projects, some of them. I want to get like our carpets deep cleaned. So that's all going to take planning, and we're going to do it throughout the year. There's a couple areas that are cluttered that I'd like to get straightened out, but I think that this is an important one, because if you know how you want your home to feel, and then you can kind of focus on the areas that don't don't feel like that and you can improve them. I think that this is something that's really helpful to consider. Okay, so next one, and actually last category, is spiritual goals. And this one is obviously very personal and it varies on the person depending on what you believe, but I thought that I would kind of share a little bit of what my goals are and what's on my heart. So my first one being to read my Bible every day. I really do try to do this, but I obviously have days where I forget. So I want to make a conscious effort to make sure I do it every day. And then next would be a longer nightly prayer. I do say a prayer at night, but I want to make it a goal to spend more time on it. And then lastly, it would just be to continue to try and honor God with everything that I do. So in treating others with love and kindness and speaking love and kindness, and also with the entertainment that I consume. I think that that's really an important area of life too, that we might sometimes forget affects us, and we might let certain things in that they're just not good for you or your relationship that you want to have with God. So those are just some of my spiritual goals, and those are actually all of my categories for my goals for 2023. I'm so excited. Other than that, I have, and I'll show really quickly, it's really big. I have this huge bucket list that I wrote out for the whole year. I do share every season basically a smaller version of this bucket list, so I'm gonna wait and share that with you instead. I think if I tried to read all of these, it would be way too long, but this is a nice idea for you if you want to just sit down and just brainstorm and dream big all of the bucket list items that you would like to include for 2023. I think this was a really fun exercise for me. And that is it for this segment. Next, I wanted to kind of share things that you can do to prepare for just going into the next year. Obviously, as I'm recording this, it's already the next year, so I've already done a few of these things, and the rest of them I still have on my list to do. But I wanted to talk for a moment. I touched on in the beginning a little bit, all the pressure to kind of make all these changes and do all these things before January 1st. And I think that we put way too much pressure on ourselves. I think that we need to just look at it as a nice fresh start, but we don't have to do all of these things all at once. I'm personally still working on just going through this list, but I thought I would still share it in case you want some inspiration. So the first thing I have is to do a closet clean out or to sell or donate some clothes. I do this every season, but some of my clothes that I meant to donate are still sitting around, so I want to make the effort to actually do those donations or sell on Poshmark. Next is a digital declutter. I think this is really nice to just kind of take time to delete old apps that you don't use anymore, maybe back up your photos, clean up your desktop, all of that good stuff. Next would be to clean all of your bedding. I think that that's really nice for a fresh, clean slate to wash all your sheets, maybe your like your pillowcase covers or your mattress cover, things that you don't do super often. And then clean your washing machine. I need to do this way more often. It is the thing that washes our clothes, so I think that that's important to sometimes give it a little clean. I have gotten in the past from Target, I know they have these little packets that you can put in and it cleans it really easily, but just do research on what works for your washing machine. And next is stocking up on vitamins and supplements. So if you're like me and one of your goals is to take vitamins, you obviously want to go out and make sure that you have them, and you could even you could ask your doctor what supplements and vitamins that you should be taking. I think that's really important to make sure you get the right ones, and then just making sure you have them, because obviously you can't take them if you don't have them. Next would be to meal prep or plan for the next few weeks. I like to do this each week, but it could be helpful to plan out your whole month if that's what you like to do. Next would be to make doctor's appointments. So this is one that I really want to focus on this year. I really struggle to do it. Make the regular doctor's appointments for checkups, eye appointments, gynecologist appointments, dermatologist, all of that stuff, whatever you need to focus on, but I think at least scheduling your physical is really important and something I still need to do. And next would be to get inspired, go on Pinterest and look at quotes and pictures. I know some people like to make a vision board. I think that that's really nice, just some pictures to add what you would like your year to look like, and that's super easy to do on Pinterest. But getting inspired is like one of the more fun parts of preparing for the next year. And next, a friend of mine suggested this, and I thought that it was so nice. It's to buy fresh flowers or a plant. So it's essentially just like bringing new life into your home, and I think that that's a really nice thought. Next is to clean your makeup brushes. This is something I do not do often enough, I will be completely honest. But this is your reminder to go ahead and clean your makeup brushes. Next is and lastly is to just, what I was saying earlier, take it one step at a time. All of these like little habits and changes that you want to make are not going to all happen overnight. If you really want to make these big changes, you have to take one habit at a time and one step at a time. I think that's so important because otherwise you're going to get overwhelmed and burnt out, and you might even just say, I give up on this goal entirely, and that's not good. So just take it easy, be gentle with yourself, and I hope that you have a wonderful 2023. I'm so excited, and thank you so much for watching this video. I feel like I've been talking forever, but like I mentioned earlier, if you are subscribed to this channel or if you would like to subscribe now, that would mean so much to me. And thank you so much. I will see you in my next video. Until next time, bye.